Hi, this is Microdose U, and I'm Dr. Denise. I'm Doctor of Psychology. And I've got a really great question. I get this a lot. So I thought I'd take a moment to answer, and it relates to a few other things I was actually thinking about this morning that might be helpful for you. So the question is, in terms of using these medicines, microdosing psychedelics, such as psilocybin and LSD, the question I get is, how long is this going to take? How long until I see results? When will I reach my goals? These are all very common, great questions. Um, and so I'm going to answer that somewhat. As we know, and you've heard me say before, everyone is unique. We are on a unique path. And there are trends. There's a lot of information. And yet, it's not going to be a set, this is how it's going to go. Like, I wish there was a formula. I wish there was a recipe. Do this, do this, do this, and you're going to reach exactly your goal. So it's not really like that, although a little bit it sort of is. So I think that the question, how long is this going to take, is a good starting point. When am I going to get there? And the answer is about perspective. I'll share a little story with you. This morning I woke up, I have a little bit of a scratchy throat. The jury's out if I'm actually coming down with something. But I found myself thinking, oh, I'm getting sick. Oh, what's this going to mean? Oh, how am I going to I wanted to record an episode. What if I lose my voice again? And it is a little scratchy, but it's much better. So the first thing I did was notice I was thinking that I can't, even though I talk about this all the time, I'm human and that process is still going to happen. The next thing I did was gargle with some warm salt water, and that immediately helped. Now I'm many hours from that. And I will say that I don't feel like I'm getting sick. And what I stopped doing, and this is where there's a link here, hang in there, that whole idea of telling myself, oh, I'm sick, is not going to be a good perspective. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not well if I'm not well. I'm not going to be in denial and say, oh, I'm not sick, I'm fine, I can just go about my business, which could lead me to running myself down. So that's not what I'm going to do. I'm allowing for healing. I have a slow day. Like I said, I gargled with the salt water right away, all to support my body and my health. And if I really start to feel unwell and I had some tea, etc., of course, if I really do start to realize, yes, I've got that head cold that seems to be floating around, I'm going to, of course, work with that and heal and rest and all the things that we do when we might have something, some sort of bug. So, and yet it wasn't going to help me to have that perspective of, oh, well, now I won't be able to record this episode I wanted to record for you. So instead, it's sort of like this middle ground. Well, let me see what happens. And what I did in that moment, which leads to the sort of connection to this answer of how long is this going to take? I said, maybe the better question is, what do I need to do to be well right now besides gargle with salt water, take it slow, and not come to any preconceived notion or conclusion that I was sick or that it was going to go a particular way. And this is what microdosing psychedelics really helps with. It helps us really achieve like a slightly different orientation or perspective instead of going into that old mindset, oh, I'm sick, when am I going to get better, what do I have to do, which can kind of make us feel more sick. The upgraded question or perspective, like putting on a new pair of glasses and seeing it differently, is, well, I trust my body and I will take care of myself, and let's see how this goes. And I am well. So that's the outcome. Whether I end up getting a little head cold or not, I know that I want to set the intention that I trust my body, that I will do what's needed, and that ultimately I am well. Now, I'm not trying to trick anybody into saying I'm going to take these medicines and it's just, and if I think everything's fine, it will be fine. That's not exactly what I mean, but a little bit. So the upgraded perspective or question when people say, how long is this going to take? When am I going to reach my goal? Dr. Denise, I'm really depressed and anxious. So if I microdose for the next 3 months, am I going to be better? And so, yes, the I can say the trend is yes, it's working. As soon as you start microdosing, psilocybin, LSD, or both, yes, it is helping you right away. Even if you are not feeling magically better, like in a day or two, which for some people, there are many people who, as soon as they start microdosing, they feel immediately better. It's like, the sea parts, the perspective, there's a clearing because it really has that rewiring effect, and it changes like the default, and it gives you that perspective. And it can be for some people day one. It can also be that it may take a little while. Everyone's unique, but the trend is generally that within the first few months, I'll say, when I'm working with people one on one, I usually say, let's kind of see how it goes for the first few weeks, the first month, tweak maybe the way someone's microdosing their psilocybin and or the LSD, and we'll kind of see where that goes. But it can take a little bit of time. But if people are saying, I don't feel the medicines at all, I don't feel like any better, I don't feel less depressed, calmer, uh, I just don't feel anything. We might, after a month or two, kind of play with the schedule of dosing and how you're using the medicine. So we do want to see some effect within the first month or two, three, the most. So that's kind of a little bit of an answer to how long will this take. Hi, it's Dr. Denise. I just wanted to take a quick break here and come in and let you know what we really can do to be helpful for you if you really want to change your life. There's so much that we do here at Microdose U, and one-on-one coaching, one-on-one, very personalized assistance to really create the perfect healing path and understanding about the medicine and access to the medicine, knowing how to proceed and how to do the right pathway for you in terms of microdosing psilocybin, LSD. So click on the show notes. You're going to go to Microdose U. That's the word microdose and the letter U.com, and then click on coaching. All of that information is always in the show notes. And I am here for you. I absolutely know what it is like to be sitting with a lot of information and not knowing exactly what to do. Oftentimes, people will tell me that just that one intensive coaching session help them really get their path going to your highest self and really get serious about having your life exactly as you want it and having your best year ever. So just go ahead and reach out to me so we can get you all set. The reason I want to upgrade that question, it really becomes more about the narrative, the conversation that we have and that you have within yourself. So, this is what I want to say, and it's a very helpful strategy. Upgrade that conversation. It's about adding. I always say, like, of course, I had that conversation in my head this morning when I woke up about, am I getting sick? And yet, so that's like an automatic thing. It really becomes about upgrading and adding to that conversation. So that's what I mean. So instead of it being, how long is this going to take? When am I going to reach my goal? Which you're going to think perhaps fits with this question. What we want to do is add the upgraded conversation. And to take a moment, something of this nature, here's a good strategy quickly in a narrative within yourself, instead of when will this work? When am I going to reach my goal? I'm on my way to a new path, unique healing for my greatest, highest self. I'm on my unique path to my unique healing for my greatest, highest self. And then this is sort of the future setting intention. This is working. This is going to lead me to healing. And then we often ask people here at Microdose U, what would you like to see in a year, in a few years? And that image is actually part of creating that healing, reaching that goal. When people ask me how long will this take, I say, well, let's talk about what you want to see. What would you, if you had magic and you could wave the wand and some aspects of your life were better, what would that look like? Let's get that mental picture. And so when I'm saying now that you would say to yourself, that upgraded conversation, that this is working, you're going to see that upgraded picture. So, no, I'm not pretending everything's magically better right now in this moment. And yet, seeing myself, as the example of the scratchy throat, seeing myself navigating, maybe having a cold coming on, seeing myself feeling energized and well, maybe in a few days if this cold is in fact coming, um, that is going to actually help my body physiologically, psychologically to achieve that. So how long is this going to take? What do you want to see? You want to see calmness, perhaps. You want to see feeling comfortable within your own body and your own being. Remember that your outcome and intention should be the desired goal, not the absence of something. So you don't want to say, I don't want to be nervous and anxious. I don't want to feel depressed. I don't want to feel the results of trauma, the residual PTSD. I don't want to feel pain in my back. Well, that back, that's, well, that I understand that. You want to, the brain doesn't understand not. So you, if you say, don't picture a pink elephant, probably we all picture a pink elephant. The brain can't help but make those pictures when you say something. So when you say, I don't want to feel anxiety, what happens is you are picturing anxiety. So you want to picture, see, there's the throat. You want to picture calm. Instead of saying, I don't want to be depressed, you want to say, I want to feel well. I want to feel energized. I want to feel comfortable, healthy, well, happy, energized, something of that nature. So that's the upgraded conversation. If you take a moment and really pick, if you can picture that, I realize sometimes it's hard to create those pictures. So then I say, just say it anyway. Even if you don't have the image, sometimes I'll say to people, what's your image of life being better? And it just gets kind of fuzzy. They can't, you might not be able to see that at this moment, and that's fine. So what if you have the images, use them. Keep picturing it like they're actually photographs of how your life would look, or what often happens when we ask ourselves, what do I want? What do I want to see in my life? A little bit of a movie plays. And so keep picturing that movie. Keep picturing that real, um, common used phrase right now. Picture that kind of little mini movie playing. I see myself energized. I'm walking. I'm hiking. I'm not doing that today, and yet that is something I'll do maybe next week. So today I'm going to lay low and not really do anything, exert myself. So just to kind of conserve some energy. So seeing that your outcome is already, it's working. The medicine's working. You're working with the medicine. And so how long will it take? Becomes I'm healing. This is where I'm headed. This is my desired outcome. And I'll also say this. People will ask me, why do you still microdose? You're doing so well. You've been microdosing for years and years. Why do you keep doing it then if it's not, if you can't lose the gains? And here's my answer. It just keeps getting better. So we're always growing. I always say, as long as we're breathing, we can upgrade, grow, heal, evolve. Yes, if in the beginning of microdosing, which for me, it's about 5 years ago at this point, this summer, I think, um, yes, I noticed that I felt immediately a better sense of calm. There had been a little bit of some residual, I'll say PTSD, that I wasn't really even aware of because I had done so much work on that prior. And yet, once I started microdosing, I noticed immediately there was an improvement. I felt even better. My whole brain organization, the way I related to myself in my life, immediately changed and just kept getting better and better and better. So, after about a year or so, I continued. After 2 years, I continued. And here I still continue because not because I'm struggling so much, although there's always things to work on, whether it's past stuff or something new happens, you interact with someone and they stress you out, they're coming from their ego and it's like, just self-serving. Life is going awry and you just don't even know what to do. So that can happen even if you don't have past things. So we microdose, I microdose to keep growing and evolving. As I said, as long as I'm breathing, you can grow and evolve. And so that's what I continue. That's why I continue to use my apothecary of medicines. So I hope that that helps. As always, we say check the show notes. Patreon information is in there, and there is a lot happening on Patreon. There's the constant WhatsApp conversation that's going on there, and we meet live. And that is a great place to continue these conversations. You can ask a lot. It's a very helpful community of people just like you and I, and people that have lots of expertise in healing and using psychedelic medicines to heal, and lots of people that maybe have no information and just starting, or have been microdosing for a while and haven't really had a community to be part of and ask questions. So it's a really great place to be. So check that out. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.